How would we transition to anarcho-capitalism? Imagine a world where all services we think of as government functions are handled by private companies and individuals working together voluntarily. That's what moving toward anarcho-capitalism looks like. It's a big shift from today's government-centered system to one based on free markets and personal choice. The first step involves understanding the core ideas of self-ownership and the non-aggression principle. Self-ownership means everyone controls their own body and property. The non-aggression principle says you shouldn't initiate force against others or their property. These ideas oppose the idea of a government that enforces taxes and holds a monopoly on violence. To make this change happen gradually, society would privatize all government functions over time. For example, private law and order would replace police and courts. Private defense agencies would compete to provide protection and dispute resolution based on contracts with clients. These agencies would be accountable because they need to keep customers happy and trust. Property rights would be protected by private security firms and legal services, not by government enforcement. Roads, utilities, and other public goods would be owned and maintained by private companies. People would pay for these services through user fees or subscriptions instead of taxes. Since anarcho-capitalism rejects taxation as theft, the government's revenue sources would disappear. This would cause the state to lose power and eventually collapse. Society would adapt to new market-based solutions, with private organizations filling the roles once held by government. Historical examples show this can happen. In the 19th century American West, law and order were often maintained by private groups and local communities. Medieval Iceland also relied on private legal arrangements instead of a central government. In this system, voluntary contracts and free markets become the foundation of social order. Competition among private providers would lead to better, more efficient services than those offered by a state monopoly. Moving toward anarcho-capitalism depends on widespread acceptance of these principles. It also requires a cultural shift to value private governance and voluntary cooperation over centralized authority. This transition would be slow and steady, with society gradually adopting these ideas as people see the benefits of freedom and private enterprise.